You buy one nice thing. Maybe it is a couch, a phone, a single good jacket. You bring it home, and for a moment you are happy. Then something strange starts to happen. The new thing is so nice that everything around it begins to look wrong. The couch makes the rug look shabby. The jacket makes your shoes look cheap. The phone needs a case, and then the case needs a screen protector, and then the matching everything else. One purchase quietly turns into 5, and you never quite decided to do that. This is not a personal flaw. It is a documented psychological trap, and it has a name. It was discovered almost 300 years ago by a French philosopher and a bathrobe. His name was Denis Diderot. In the 1700s, he was one of the most important thinkers alive, the man behind the encyclopedia, the great book that tried to gather all of human knowledge into one place. He was also, for most of his life, broke. Then his luck turned. He sold his entire library to Catherine the Great of Russia, and overnight he had more money than he had ever known, and a friend gave him a gift. A dressing gown. A robe in beautiful, deep scarlet. It was magnificent. Diderot loved it. It ruined his life. Because next to that gorgeous new robe, his old straw chair suddenly looked pathetic. So he replaced it with one in fine leather. But now the leather chair made his old desk look shabby, so the desk had to go too. Then the cheap prints on his wall, then a new rug, then a mirror above the fireplace. One by one, every familiar object in his home was thrown out and replaced, all to live up to a bathrobe. He spiraled into debt, chasing a feeling he could not name. And when he finally sat down, surrounded by all his expensive new things, he was miserable. He wrote a short essay about what had happened to him, with one devastating line. "I was absolute master of my old dressing gown," he wrote, "but I have become a slave to my new one." He had worked out something uncomfortable about himself. The robe had not just been a robe. It had quietly forced everything around it to change. 200 years later, an anthropologist named Grant McCracken gave the trap its name. He called it the Diderot Effect. Here is how it works. Everything you own is, without you ever planning it, a match set. Your clothes, your furniture, your phone, they all sit at roughly the same level. They go together. McCracken called this a Diderot unity. Then you introduce one thing from a higher level, a nicer phone, a better couch, a scarlet robe, and it breaks the unity. Now your brain has two options. It could decide the new thing does not belong and let it go. It never does that. Instead, it quietly drags everything else upward to match. The new thing becomes the new normal, and suddenly all your old, perfectly good possessions feel like they are beneath you. So you replace them, and the whole level ratchets up, and then it happens again. Once you see this, you cannot unsee it. It is why the new phone needs the case, the screen protector, the wireless earbuds, the matching watch. It is why a single new sofa can quietly redecorate an entire room until the walls themselves look like they need repainting. It is why the person who finally buys the dream car suddenly notices that the driveway is cracked, and the garage is a mess, and the house behind it is the wrong color. And it is why people who get a raise so often feel just as squeezed a year later. The money did not vanish. The whole set quietly leveled up around them and ate the difference. People call that lifestyle creep. It is the Diderot effect, running on your bank account. And here is the part that should make you uncomfortable. The people who sell you things know this perfectly well. Products are not designed alone anymore. They are designed in families, in ranges, in ecosystems, so that the moment you buy one, the next one is already pulling at you. Buy into the brand, and the brand has a matching, slightly better version of everything you own, waiting. One purchase is never meant to be one purchase. It is meant to be a door. And the reason this trap works so well is the cruelest part. It does not feel like manipulation. It feels like taste. It feels like wanting nice things. It feels like you finally upgrading to the life you deserve. That is the disguise. The spiral pretends to be your own preference, which is exactly why you never feel it pulling. But step back and look at what is actually happening. Yesterday, your room was fine. Your old chair was comfortable, your old phone worked, nothing about any of them got worse. The only thing that changed is that one new object arrived and made you feel that the rest was no longer good enough. You do not have a furniture problem. You have a feeling that the new thing has made everything else look wrong. And that feeling is lying to you because nothing else actually changed. Diderot's old robe was never the problem. He admitted it himself. In that worn-out robe, he had been comfortable and free and master of his own home. The scarlet one made him a slave, not because it was bad, but but because of everything it made him want next. So the next time something new and shiny makes the rest of your life suddenly look shabby, stop. Remember the old philosopher in his ruined study, sitting stiffly among beautiful things he could not afford, missing the worn-out robe that had never once asked him for anything. The robe was never the trap. The trap was the need to match it, and that need only runs in the dark. Now you can see it.